The Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League here in Melbourne. Mick Stevens with you once again, and I'm excited for today's matchup. The Melbourne Vipers sitting fourth on a very congested ladder in the men's competition. Adelaide Storm in a slightly disappointing season for them after a couple of very strong years, but they'll be here to put in their best performance, put some pressure on this Melbourne Vipers team. Joining us once again, courtside, Hannah.
Thanks, Mick, and what an atmosphere building here at the pit. Many fans have travelled near, wide, from everywhere to come check out this must-win match, I should say, for the Vipers. Or specifically, just 2 sets is the magic number. So I'm going to be running all the combinations and permutations today to see who will be locked into the semi-final next week. But the atmosphere here, unreal at MSAC.
Excellent, thanks Hannah. I think the math is much safer in your hands. So 2 sets is the magic number for the Vipers. And then we see that ladder. Look at that, 27, 26, 25, 23. Heat with a brilliant performance last week to catapult them up a little bit. Storm, as we said, disappointing last week, a 0-5 loss. And the Vipers last week travelled to Perth, the most difficult road trip in sport, and they turned it on. 4-1 win against the Steel at home was a brilliant and much needed performance from the Vipers to stay alive in this top 4. Adelaide Storm certainly looking to upset them if they can. It's been a disappointing, season for them. But this is our last round before finals. So last chance for the Storm. Rob and Giuseppe, our referees for today. And the list, the Vipers, well, top of the list, and he's been top of a lot of statistical tables this season. Louis Calcolio, second in points scored for the entire league, this young man. He started on fire in round 1 and has not cooled off. He's also the #1 server still in the competition. Lockie Chester, he had a fantastic game in Perth last weekend. He's risen up the blocking ranks, as I predicted, to #2 blocker. Lachlan Bray, he's been another mainstay for them, #3 in points and the 5th best receiver. As we have a look at the Stormers, they come onto court. Toby Willis, #6 blocker. His defence at the net will be very important for them today. Keep an eye on Rory Welsh, very experienced setter. He'll run the offence for the Storm. Simon Coates been a mainstay for them. Brendan Clues doesn't look like he's getting the start today, but a very senior player in their lineup and their captain as well. We may see him later in the game. Power plays, of course, 3 per team per match. You can only call 1 per set. Both teams can call them at the same time. Must call them before your team gets to 12 points. And once called, the next 3 rallies are worth 2 points on the scoreboard for the team that calls it if they win those points. So it's been a lot of fun seeing the impact they have and the tactics that our coaches use. And of course our sponsors, how brilliant. Mahindra getting behind volleyball here in Australia. Backed up by Scape, Slimakasa, the official volleyball, and Inverleigh, our broadcast partner. A huge thank you to our sponsors for getting behind the Australian Super League. So, head coach for the Vipers in shot, Josh Cowan there. He should be feeling a little bit more comfortable after the impressive performance last week. Borchardt came into the team last week, the libero for the Vipers, and he gets his place again this week. So underway, Bray with the serve. And that is a crafty little shot from Simon Coates, working the ball cross court. So for the Vipers, Lawrence Barn getting the start in the setting position. Dylan Lakezi with the middle blocker duties. And they go to him there, and it's a nice start deep into the corner. He has the #1 most efficient attacker in the league this year as well. So he'll have a big impact today. Lockie Bray, middle back court there. He's been brilliant. #5 receiver, #3 points scorer. He's a big part of the offense. As they go to Coate again, and there's Bray with a dig. Oh, Lakezi, what a play by him, hitting the floor, the big fella. Coates, a lot of work to do early, and turns that one wide. Rounding out the Vipers lineup, Manjot Singh, and he was on fire last week in Perth. He is the other outside hitter for the Vipers. As Coate, another touch. Great dig again from the middle blocker in the backcourt, but they give up the free ball. That is a great swing. Lakezi everywhere on defense. What a start from him. Can't control that one. And his middle blocking partner, Kanwar Pal Singh, back into this team after some injury. So that's a big in for the Vipers. So Coate said his name a lot already. Good from the service line, but Borchardt up to the task. And there's Bray. His strength, you could say, is that pipe. He loves that ball, and he hits it very well. Barn with the float serve. Well handled from Williamson, the libero. That's a nice side out there for the Storm. As we have a look at the rest of their lineup, Rory Hart, #14 in the opposite position, playing opposite Rory Welsh, who we mentioned his leadership and experience will be highly important today. There's Louis, he's dug. Hart, as we just mentioned, swinging, he'll play on the right side a lot as the opposite player. So Coates, the outside hitter, along with Possingham. He has been really good so far this year. Been in the statistical rankings a lot before this round. And there's Kanwar straight into the action. Off the defence and into the crowd, which is starting to fill up here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. The rest of the lineup for the Storm, Williamson, we mentioned, and there he is getting aced. What a bomb. Manjot Singh, he is dangerous from that service line. He goes again. Well done from Coate. Perfect pass. Disbury, we mentioned him in the opening shots. The second most efficient attacker in the competition. Made a meal of it that time, but his offense will be highly important for the Storm. High ball is too high and too wide for Hart. So just a couple of unforced errors from the Storm give the Vipers the mini break on the scoreboard, 7-4. Well, Manjot Singh just absolutely unleashing from the service line by the looks of it today. Get a bit of a green light to really go for it. head coach Nathan McLeod, Wombat as he's known for this Storm team. Great reception from Bray. And he gets up so high. He is a very, very athletic young man. And when he changes into that tip, it's very hard to defend. Great choice and great placement for Bray. Canwa, deceptively fast serve. The middles with the defence so far for the Vipers. That's a great turn from Bray. Somehow looked awkward, but he managed to squeeze that down the line. He's just giving the boys a little replay there of how he worked that ball across his body. I think the line defence from Hart just really not expecting that. Canwa, a bit more heat on that one. Well handled by Williamson. And that's a great swing off the block and out from Hart. Possingham to serve. Close, but long is the call. Flag up, indicating the ball out. So we get our scoreboard adjusted. Louis, nice serve down the line. Coat, that's a great dig from Manjot. There's that tip again, too good, too high from Bray. Manjot Singh, last week, his defence was incredible. Don't have any statistics on how many digs he got, but it was highly, highly impressive. He was a big part of their excellent performance over in the West. So Louis can't get on top of that one. Toby Willis, the last of the starting 7, back into the front row as middle blocker for the Storm, number 2. Well controlled by Manjot Singh. Lakezi dug that time. Any touches on block? No, say the referees. So another unforced error really for the Storm. Vipers off to a fantastic start. Bray, well, he did not get that one right at all. Well, capable of serving well over 100 k's an hour is Bray. But he puts that one almost into the crowd. They target Bray down the line. High ball. Manjot enjoys these situations, but he's dug. Borchardt, great touch, but it's out of reach. So, great point on serve for the Storm. They're going to have to defend very, very well today. It's a very well-rounded and potent offence for the Vipers, who really hit their straps last week. They go after Bray again, and he's up to the task. An opportunity again for the Storm. Coates is dug. Ball's up on the net. That's a brilliant block. Lakezi, I think, joined with Barn there. Shutout block on the Paradise ball. I think no worse feeling as an attacker to have that ball just pop up on the net and find the block. So hybrid serve likely to come from Lakezi. Finds the tape, well handled by Welsh. And there's some blocking again. Lawrence Barn again in the action, this time with Kanwar Pal Singh. Holding on to their 5-point lead. Great reception from Coate. They give the ball back to him, and that one's wide. Couldn't get on top of that ball. Maybe a little bit too far off the net for him. So Melbourne just seem to be cruising here in this first set. Another good ball in from Coates. Wow, Kanwar Pal Singh. Monster block indeed. He read that beautifully. He was up very, very early. Wow, shutout block there. Williamson, great delivery. They go straight back to Willis, but he's dug. Singh off the hands. Great sweeping defence from Williamson. Opportunity now for the Vipers. And no touches this time from Storm. So the error to Singh. (16-10), commanding lead. This first set almost in the books for the Vipers. Great back set. Kilikolio had to give up the free ball, and they give up another one. Manjot Singh, some more great defence. High ball, and he's just so clever in those situations. Finding a way down in front of the block, taking all the pace off the ball. So set point here. Chasing, but ran out of real estate. Did Barn. So plenty of set points for the Vipers. Willis, productive serve. Well, Louis had a bit of a free swing. When you're up by 6 points, you can afford to rip out the ball, but he does not find any hands on the way through. Much better from Bray. Good dig by Willis, and a net touch called. Well, not a great way to finish the first set for the Storm. So, Melbourne, great start from them. They have the first of 2 sets needed in the books. We're going to head down and with Hannah and catch up with some of our coaches.
Coach Josh, congratulations on the first win last week. Talk us through what was the celebration like? What's the mood amongst the team?
Yeah, it was quite good. I think it was important. We went and had a drink with the girls after. They were a bit flat, so it was good to unite as a big squad. And Sunday was pretty good
position, albeit not locked in. How does your ladder position change the way in which you go about this match?
Look, I think we're not too worried about the ladder position. I think last week we did a really good job on focusing on our job, and that's what we're planning on for today.
Well, one of your stars of the season has been Louis Kolikelio. He has been unreal in his big debut. How do you think he's going to cope under the pressure of today? What role are you looking for him to play?
Yeah, it's really tough. He's 18 years old. I think that's the part where his growth is. Like, he's the man along with a few others, and he's just got to understand, hey, that comes with the territory of higher expectations. So he'll be right, ready for the challenge.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to seeing how he goes under the pressure. Good luck to you, Coach Josh.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Josh. So, Louis, not off to a great start in this match, but it didn't really matter. A commanding performance from the team. So they take the first set here in Melbourne. Lucchesi, there's that little hybrid serve. Gets the better of Williamson there. And somehow they find a way. Really had no right in that point. It's like Lucas Mark Seymour, number 19, the opposite hitter, into the game for the Storm in this second set, and that's the start thereafter. Charlie Disbury, brilliant start from him at the nets. Monster block there. Well, just the start Adelaide needed. Free ball now, so an opportunity again here. And there's Rory Welsh. It's that experience coming through. Beautiful little touch over on the second contact, finding the space. Good delivery from Singh. And there's Louis from the backcourt that time. Finding the floor. Much better start from him. Nice dig again from Singh. Opportunity. They go back to him and he finds the floor. Manjot and Kanwar, just such great control with their wrists over the ball. They can work the ball in really incredible angles on attack. Finding ways around and through blocks, and talking about finding a way. Simon Coates absolutely hammering that ball sharp cross court. Borchardt, the libero for the Vipers, unable to control as he sets up his serve receive. Well, too much heat there. Louis, great start from him. Continues his work on the left side. Lucas Mark Seymour in 6, so he's got the start as one of the outside hitters for the Storm. Well, Bray, good recycle, and they reverse. And he's found the antenna. So automatic point for the opposition. The error that time after 2 kills from Louis. Rory Welsh just asking for a volleyball, which is fair enough. We probably need those here today. So Welsh with the serve. They seem to be going after Bray. And there's Kanwar Pal Singh finding the deep corner. Hannah, what have you got for us courtside?
Yeah, it's really interesting between set breaks that coach Josh Cowan, I don't know if you saw him spending all of his time with Lockie Bray, who's been doing a great job in the number 8. Big man's full of confidence at the moment, so it's just a small adjustment in positioning. And I might point out to you on the Adelaide Storm side of things, I don't know if you can see on the court, but there are 2 basketball baskets just above their side of the court. So look out for those to play a little bit of havoc. You saw them claim 1 point earlier, so left of screen, something to be aware of.
Thank you, Hannah. Certainly keep an eye on that. Certainly keep an eye on Lachlan Bray as well. Highly experienced, playing over in Europe professionally, a short stint over there in Germany, back home, representing his Vipers at the moment. Coat really went for that one from the service line. I think service pressure from the Storm on this well-rounded Vipers offence will go a long way. So you might see a bit more heat from the Storm. That might lead to some more errors, but that's a great dig. Manjot Singh again. Bray, very, very, very clever. Took all the pace off. Just found the outside of the block. He has so much athleticism and power, does Bray. It's great to see him changing it up every now and then. Williamson deciding to play that deep serve. And Bray runs into the pole as he was going for that ball. Had to let it go. Willis at the service line for the Storm. Going after Bray again. Control ball from Louis. And an easy tip given up. Borchardt getting into his work. Great recycle from the Vipers. Well, Manjot Singh, as casual as you like. Absolute perfect back set from him. He is so skillful. Getting a one-on-one attack, I think, for the Bray there on the outside, and he finds a way down the line. So power play, first one of the match. So 8-all, and Adelaide, I believe, have called their power play. And perfect timing. If you're an Adelaide fan, I think Vipers just trying to put that ball in, but took too much power off. So first point of the power play to Adelaide, and they return the favour with the service error. So one left for the Storm. It'll be interesting to see if the Vipers will counter with their power play. Good from Lucchesi. Bossingham is Doug. He's playing in the opposite role this set. Wow, again, a very smart swing from Bray. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Just made sure he put the ball in to a good area. And he found the floor quite easily in the end. So 10-all after our first power play of the match. Good recycle off the block. Williamson delivers a nice ball. Lucas Mark Seymour finding a way off the block. Nice start from him, getting a chance on court. I'm impressed with his work so far. Well, Melbourne do counter. So on reception for the first of their power play, in Adelaide return the same favour as Melbourne did for them, a service error on the first point of the power play. So 12-11 now. This ball needs to go in from Barner. Just, well, no just about that. Charlie Disbury. And a service error. Apologies, that's Connell McCanch, number 20. I thought that was 28. Disbury, apologies there to Connell. But his service error gives the last power play points to the Vipers. Again, a smart swing down the line, but dug by Bossingham. They go back to Bray. This time he goes high, hard and heavy over the top of the block to find the floor. So some great patient offense from him this week so far. So Melbourne, handy little break here at 15-12. Simon Coates. That is a big, big swing from him. Hear the thud off the defender. So Adelaide hanging in, 15-13. They go after Bray again. He delivers well. Manjot, Kanwar. Finding nothing but net there. So rare error from him. Adelaide closing the gap, 14-15. Bray delivers well again. They go straight back to him. My goodness, Willis. What a block. He was all over that. Showing why he is amongst the best blockers in the competition, Willis. Do they reset Palsing? Opportunities there. No, one-on-one to Bray. An emphatic put away from him. That's the advantage of good reception and setting your middle blocker. So it does hold the opposition blocker and create some one-on-one opportunities. Singh puts that ball in. A great touch. The Singhs combine in the background. Well, they have to give up the free ball though. Lockie Bray, this time on defence with the block. He's by himself as well. Incredible work from him, showing his athleticism. That's an important block and an important point as well. 17-15. Good from Williamson. High ball. Simon Cope just finding a way. Barn maybe a bit shallow there on his defensive position, having to take the ball very high above his head. Might have been out, actually. If you're playing the ball that far above your head. So Coates still set point down, and Lockie Bray watches that ball like a hawk, and it just wide. So Melbourne Vipers take a close second set, 18-16. And if our math is correct, according to Hannah, that will give them a spot in next week's finals. Teams will change ends. The only change of ends here in the Super League format. We'll head to a quick break and come back with the third set action. We're back here live in Melbourne. So the Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League, last round of the regular season. We are into the finals campaign next weekend with our semi-finals, and the weekend after with our medal matches. So Melbourne, we believe, have secured their spot in the top four, taking the first two sets here against the Storm. Much better from the Storm in that second set. It was really the kill block from Lockie Bray, and I think about 16-15 just to put them up and give them a little break, or 16 all it might have been. But some very important plays from Bray in that second set. As Charlie Disbury gets the start there. So number 20, Connell McAinch, had been starting in that spot. And if you don't mind, Mark Seymour down the line very nicely. And he'll go back to serve. So great start from him. Down the line with a lot of power. Borchardt Rare reception from him. They've been going after others and somehow keeping that ball alive is the Storm. Sing again. Williamson off the shoulder. Well, Simon Coate, he has a lot of offensive work to do for this team. And he does find some great solutions to some problems out on court. That's great defense from the Storm. Much better delivery from Borchardt. They go to Lucchesi. Williamson again with the dig. Great push from Possingham. Coates again. Finds the sideline. What a start from the Storm. Fantastic defense. Good from Borchardt. Once again, and there's that change-up. Lockie Bray has been very, very good with those this match, and he continues on his way. Lineups a little different for the Vipers. Young Tom Martin, so he's the second setter, but also has a very nice swing on him as he will get the start in the opposite position. Something he's very capable of doing. As Possingham, a nice kill down the block. Disbury, not his best from the service line. So Barn, the setter, into the back row. Williamson, high ball in the middle. Coate, there's that cross-court angle again. This time it's kept alive. But a free ball to the Storm. Good from Borchardt, reversed. Tom Martin with his first swing. And almost the cover from Borchardt. Just finding the tips of his fingers, but finding the floor. The good start from the Storm continuing. Hannah, what have you got for us down there?
Yeah, Mick, quite interesting that at the set break, Nathan McLeod and his coaches had one word for the boys, and that was wait. Wait for the block. Wait for the set. Just be really patient in the way in which they play their points. Definitely a renewed sense of optimism into this third set. You can see by the energy on the boys' faces, they're definitely up and about.
Yeah, thanks, Hannah. Great insight from you there. So, some patience needed from the Storm, and it's paying off so far. I think that talking about waiting on their block, just jumping a little bit later, maybe on their attack, just not running in as early, so maybe waiting a little bit as well. So something they've seen. Nathan Roberts, the assistant coach for the Storm today, with almost 400 games for the Australian men's team. It's been a very high-level professional athlete for a very long time, replacing Kelly Lean on the bench for the Storm's coaching staff. So very handy in. One national team player out in lead and one in for Roberts. So lots of experience there, and that's seeming to pay off in this third set. Adelaide Storm off to a great start. Kenwa, first week back from injury, he's been good. Williamson up to the task. And off the block and out. So some really nice, smart offense from the Storm here to start this third set. Cut out a few errors as well, which always helps on the scoreboard, particularly these sets to 18 are so fast. Bray off pace is controlled. Free ball, and that is unfortunately a bad error for the Storm. It's got to be said. An easy ball popping up and a bit of confusion on who would take that. Would usually be the libero, but he was off the court, so really important that you have your systems in place for who will take that ball, particularly when the libero is off. Tom Martin, that ball's in from him. And that ball's in there from Possingham. I was asked not to talk about Tom Martin's serve until after his serve, and it worked that time. The ball going in from Tom. Possingham, heavy swing from the service line. Martin chases it down, but free ball. This time they control. Nice play over the top of the middle to the outside. And my angle there looked out, and the Storm claiming it's in. But the call has been made out, so lucky break for the Vipers. Still 3-point lead to the Storm. There's Bray into the tape. So 10-6 to Adelaide. Go with potentially a power play. Try and break this set wide open. Do Melbourne call one try and get themselves back in. I have a feeling Melbourne might wait for the 4th and 5th set. Martin, the set's a bit wide for him. He controls. Great blocking from Barn. He's been very solid at the net this match. And just missing the baseline. Melbourne catch one back. Kessie with that hybrid serve. Barn opts to control. Great set. Sing to sing. And the tip can't be controlled. Canwa and Manjot, part of the Heidelberg Volleyball Club that has dominated State League the last couple of years in Victoria. Great to see them both on court for the Vipers this year. Too much from Kessie that time. Good from Borchardt. And somehow Canmar finds the floor. I'm not sure how that got through, but sprawling defense into the signage from the Vipers. Willis didn't quite commit to his run. More great defense this time from the Storm. Great push from Welsh. Manjot, perfect placement from him. Great rally. Great volleyball. The crowd showing their appreciation. Really starting to fill up here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. As we see this replay, perfectly placed. Williamson and Possingham at full stretch. Great defence continues. Both sides everywhere at the moment. And there it is, Coate again, the go-to man for the Storm. So power play called. So Melbourne trying to catch up here and take this third set and the match. Manjot has to adjust his run, and adjust he did. That is a very, very nice swing from him to start the power play. So 12-all. More great defence. Bray, can he put it away? Williamson, how's the dig from him? Inspired defence here in this third set. Well, Williamson followed that all the way. Made sure that was out. Great hustle from the Storm to take away the power play points. But one more for Melbourne. Just what Melbourne wanted. An easy one to get a 1 point lead. Returning the favour is Singh, so 14 all. Well, I'm smelling a golden point set here. I can just sense it. I do love a golden point situation if we get to 17 all. Left-handed tip is Doug from Welsh. Bray getting creative and getting to the triple block, and they somehow keep it alive, the Storm. Martin, does he find some hands? No, he doesn't. Well, the inspired defence from the Storm continue. And Nathan Wombat McLeod enjoying what he's seeing from his troops. Despite all that effort, so 15 all. Martin going with his float serve, and it's a good one. Borchardt with the touch. Manjot, Singh, if you don't mind, reverse paddle. And it comes up with the goods. Oh, I hope we can get another look at that dig. That was incredible from Singh. I'm so impressed with the defence from both sides. Another good float serve from Martin. Well, Lockie Bray, another clutch one-on-one block from him late in the set. He did it in the second set. He's done it in the third. 17-15. Set points to Melbourne. Great delivery from Cope. Oh my goodness. That is the biggest one yet. Bray getting the better of Possingham. What a way to take the third set. The monster of all monster blocks from Lockie Bray. You see the look on the faces of the Vipers players, and high five all round for Bray as he took control at the net and took control of the third set. So the Melbourne Vipers 3-0 up. We'll take a break and come back with the fourth set action. We're back here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Set 4 underway, and I thought it was really all Adelaide in that third set until the last few points. Melbourne took control and really through the hands of Lachlan Bray. Very solid performance from him. He's going to get a rest. He's had a few little niggly injuries, I'm told, so looks like he's sitting as Vipers up 3-love and have punched their ticket to the finals. Well, the jump and fake set not quite executed, but it's a play we see a lot in the modern game. Good to see it trying to be executed here in the Super League. So 1-1 to start things off. So line-up's different, a lot different for the Vipers. We'll get to that in a second. That's a big dig from Williamson, but easy ball here. Martin absolutely going after that ball. Manjot Singh is blocked and it hits him and goes out. So the good blocking continues for the Storm. I believe, Hannah, you've got a little update for us.
It's interesting to hear the Storm unpack those last unforced errors deep in the set, which let them down. They spoke about enjoying the one-on-one challenges which present, but then in those last clutch moments, there's no need to force things. There's no need to rush things. Just be really patient. You don't need to ram the ball down your opponent's throat. Just be disciplined. So interesting to discuss the different tempos that presented within the set.
Thank you, Hannah. And speaking about tempo, my goodness, there is a very fast tempo play. Kanwar Pal Singh absolutely getting a hold of that one. Yeah, the Adelaide Storm men just need to stay patient here. They've really stepped up since that first set. They were well off the mark and they've played better and better every set. And as I said, I really thought they were in the box seat in that third, and some inspired play from Lockie Bray got them over the line. There's that little drifting behind play again. This time, Doug, well, Manjot couldn't get there with his right arm, so just uses his left off to block it out. As easy as you like. He's a very almost casual player to watch. Doesn't give a lot of emotion, but gee, he plays well. And speaking of, that is almost the perfect serve down the line into the corner. It's a very, very tough ball, probably the hardest ball to receive off a spin serve straight down the line. They're in offense now. What a dig from Borchardt. Possingham absolutely hammered that. Opportunity now. Well, Welsh is dug this time on his tip. Coate has to go soft on the ball. Louis is dug. Tom Martin slips through the fingers. Well, not a lot I can say about that. Probably a little bit of sweat on the ball after so many touches. It's such an extended rally. Louis into the pass hitting role with Martin in the opposite role, and Kanwar Pal Singh not getting that ball where he needed it. There's a little discussion going on between him and Barn just about where the placement needs to be. Luckily for the Vipers, a net touch is called. So Brendan Clues in for the Storm, number 15, their captain and middle blocker. Possingham finds the baseline there. Wombat McLeod just urging his troops on. Can they get it right this set? Great from Borchardt. Lachlan Chester getting the start in this fourth set. One of the young middles in this Vipers team. As I said, he was fantastic in the starting role last week in the absence of Kanwar Pao Singh. He's off to a good start here in the fourth. A little pipe behind and well read from Chester. But off the block and down for Coates. Just been a few too many of those from the Storm today, it must be said. Particularly from their float servers. We need to be a little bit more consistent. Speaking of serving, best server in the competition is well handled by Coate. Great block again from Chester. And Borchardt watches that beautifully over his shoulder and out. Great position and great read from the young libero. Well, Louis absolutely going for that. Puts that one very, very well long. In or out? Oh, just long. I thought that one may have tagged the line. 8-all. Wow, beautiful tip, but a beautiful dig from Manjot Singh. Tom Martin can't find a way through there. So Adelaide's power play. First point of the power play goes their way. Well, there's that service error again. So interesting little change here. Lucchesi has been a middle blocker. He is coming in as an opposite. Tom Martin will do the setting duties from the back court. Lucchesi very, very capable of that. Can play middle, left side and right side. And he's into the action straight away. What a save. Borchardt, has he got enough? Oh, just wide. It was a pretty rushed bang-bang play. So Melbourne Vipers calling their power play now. So only 2 points down in this fourth. So Hart back into the action, on to serve. Puts the ball in. Wow, very, very nicely worked from Louis. Wasn't in his zone to be powerful, so he just took all the pace off as the substitution is reversed for the Storm. So Melbourne, 12-all. Nice from Manjot. The ball pops up. Well worked from Welsh. Martin back to his natural role of setting. Delivers the ball very, very well. Louis found himself a long way off the net in that situation, but he managed it exceptionally well, finding the line. So last point of the power play. Wow, great reception from Coate off a monster serve. Well, Possingham is filthy with himself for not finding a way through the block there. So 16-12, all of a sudden that power play working beautifully here in the fourth for the Vipers. And the ace serve, everything just going the way of the Vipers now. And that brings up set points. 17-12 here in the fourth. Well, Manjot, does he go for it? He does. Bit of a licence to go after it there with so many set points. Welsh with his jump float. Handled by Louis. And Canwa just down the front of the block, something he does so well. Well, fourth set in the books here in Melbourne, and it's been the Vipers just finding a way despite some good pressure from the Storm. Vipers continue to find solutions. We'll take a break before we get to the fifth set here in Melbourne. Back here for the fifth set. So Vipers started well. Adelaide has pushed back a little, but Melbourne have just been too good. As we see Harry Sinclair into the game here in this fifth set. Nice little slide behind, is blocked and dug. Thomas Martin, that's one of his strengths. He is a big physical setter and puts up a very big block. So we see Lucchesi in as an outside hitter here in the fifth. So doing just about everything for this Vipers team today. Louis back into his opposite role after spending a set in the outside hitter position. So it will be Martin to set, Louis in opposite, Lucchesi and Sinclair in to pass hit. So the changes being made by the coaching staff of the Vipers. Things on the Storm side looking a little bit more normal. Hart back in the opposite spot. Great dig again from Williamson, but out of reach from his teammates. He's been very, very good today, Williamson. Lucas Mark Seymour continues his work in the outside hitter role. Along with Simon Coate, who's had to do a lot of work today. Great dig from Sinclair. Lekezi getting it done. No matter where you put him. Well, float servers today haven't been fantastic, it must be said. Let's see what Charlie Disbury has for us. Finding his target, and it's a good one. So free ball given up. And a very nice swing from Connell back in after starting for the first two sets, number 20. Nice little crossbody swing from him. Borchardt gets crammed a little bit on serve. Easy tip from Louis. And Welsh, there's that experience. Finding a big hole in the Vipers' defence. Good float serving continues. There's that little drifting ball from Kanwar Pal Singh. That's really impressive. He jumps, his spike approach is goofy footed, which means he jumps with his feet around the wrong way. To run behind and drift off a goofy foot approach is just highly impressive, as he's there on block as well and creates him his own opportunity. But he is such an impressive middle blocker. Good from Martin, creates the opportunity. Well, way too much power from Louis as he goes off the block and out. And I get the sense that some of the energy has just been drained out of this game a little bit as Melbourne find themselves 4-love up and starting to roll here in the fifth. Bump set out to Coate. They were hoping for fingers. They thought they had it, but referee say no touch. So Melbourne continue to roll here. 9-4. High ball to Louis. Wow. If you don't mind. It's a great block. It's a monster block as well. Singh across his body to the corner is Doug. Martin hits the floor. Well, free ball given up here. In system are the Storm. Wow. Great defense again. Borchardt delivers, but the blocking again from the Storm. A lot going on there. Good position from Borchardt in position 5. Simon Coate has been working that cross-court angle all match, and good to see young libero Quinn Borchardt adjusting well and finding the right position. So Adelaide still with one power play remaining. Be surprised if they don't use that in this set, being the last set. Sounds silly, but they don't have to use them if they don't want to. As another serve goes into the tape for the Storm. And there it is on cue. The power play. Sinclair just under the ball a little bit, had to take the pace off. Lucchesi on the pipe, but a foot fault, so he needs to take off from behind the attack line or the 3 metre line. Can't have any part of your foot touching that line, so an error from him. So substitution for the Vipers. Manjot Singh coming in for service duties. And he's been serving well last week and this week. Just placement there this time. And nice swing from Hart. High into the hands, finding a way through. Sinclair has the reception and has the swing. Opportunity, nice from Coate. Oh, sprawling dig, Sinclair. And Louis not able to get on top of that ball. He's not been at his best this game, has Louis, but my goodness, has he had a good season. We'll allow him to have one game where he's not quite setting the stadium on fire. The young man, 18 years old, we heard head coach Josh Cowan talking about him earlier. And here he is on serve. He's had a phenomenal season. And again, just not able to get his contact on the ball right. Another ball into the tape for the Adelaide Storm. Their service just hasn't found its mark today. Haven't found their rhythm. Haven't been able to hit their targets as much as they would like. Coate turning that ball. My view sort of looked out, but Harry Sinclair following that ball all the way. But Lions ref confidently says in. Little push from Chester is Doug Coates. There he is again, finding solutions to problems. 13 all. 14-13, sorry. Scoreboard ticks over. Float serves in this time. Lucchesi on the left side, off the block and off the defender. Tie things up here in the 5th set. Float serve handled from Coates. And a nice middle attack there. Finds its way down. So Adelaide continue to side out. Can they get one on serve here? Take the mini break late in this 5th set. Kanwa. Just so hard to stop. I think Willis got him once earlier in the match, but he just finds a way. Off blocks, around blocks, down in front of the blocks. He has a lot of range on attack. Wow, there's that angle from Coate. Hitting that ball at 3 metres. Not easy to do, and he's done it very well. Bump set. Lucchesi tips. Good from Welsh. Nice dig from Martin. Well, that ball just too far off the net. He needs to be playing that ball up for his setter, get into team offense there. There's a point at which we want to hit that ball that pops up on the net when it's nice and close, or maybe even block it. But when it comes that far back, I think probably need to get into your team offense. But 16 all. Williamson again handles the serve. Scrappy play, kept alive. Well, that's a very, very smart block. Simon Coate, I think it was, on the right side that time. The Vipers player had his back to the net, so couldn't see that Simon Coate was there. So, chance for Adelaide. Their first set point in any of the sets so far this match. That's a good serve. And the ace. Well, selfishly, I wanted a golden point, but the ace brings up the fifth set, 18-16, in favour of the Storm. They finally get on the board here in Melbourne. Well, Vipers just too good today. And there'll be a very, very happy squad as they secure their place in the top four and punch a ticket through to the finals, which start next week. The Adelaide Storm, it's been a disappointing season for them. One of the best teams the last year or two in the Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League. They have a lot to think about as they review the season ahead of next year. And of course, our women up next here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. And we're going to head down to courtside. Hannah, you've got one of the Storm players with you.
Simon, the end of another campaign. Talk to us. What's running through your mind?
Obviously disappointing from us. You know, we the last couple of years, like strong finishes in finals. We've got a lot to think about. Go back, regroup for next season. But there's a lot of older bodies that I'm sure are happy for the break. But yeah, to get the young guys integrated into the group this year has been fantastic, and they've done a really good job.
Definitely, you wouldn't be referring to yourself with one of those older bodies, but some moments of individual and collective brilliance today. What inspired you and what pleased you about that last set in particular?
Yeah, look, we had kind of everything to leave on the line there, end of the season last set, so we really wanted to leave everything out on the court. Happy to come away with at least one set and kind of finish strong.
And you've had a really strong campaign in 2025, your team's greatest point scorer. How are you feeling about your output this year compared to previous years?
Yeah, we've lost a couple of big guys, so you know, a few more of us have had to step up. Toby Willis is another great example. Diz, all those guys have all stepped up really well. So you know, we're seeing different point scorers out of the team this year. So.
Okay, well, enjoy the post-season celebrations, and we look forward to seeing you back on the court next year.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you, Hannah. Yes, a lot more responsibility on the shoulders of guys like Simon Coate, with guys like Nathan Roberts retiring from the Super League for the Storm. So, as he said, a lot of reflection and review to be done as we see the men interacting with the home crowds. Very good to see our fans turning out here. And Hannah's got someone else with you. Hannah.
Dylan Casey, congratulations, you're through to finals.
Yeah, pretty happy about that. Happy to get the win in 4-1 to really secure our way there. Pretty keen.
You won 4-1 last week, 4-1 today. What's pleasing you most about what the team's been doing in the last few weeks?
We're controlling our errors a little bit better. Like when we've got the ball, we're doing a better job of winning in counter-attack and side-out. We were the best counter-attack team over the first three weeks, and that's been strong for us. Being able to get over the hump of those 3-2 losses and getting a few wins has been so good for our just self-esteem, honestly. And yeah, I feel like we've ramped up towards finals really well.
So a bronze medal last year. What do you need to do this year to get you one match further?
It's a really good question. I think power play. If we can serve really tough on power play and play into our strengths of break point. And really choke them, try and hold them to 1 out of their 3 power plays. I think we'll win a few more sets and get through to the gold.
Well, I'll let you get out of this warm-up. Balls flying everywhere. Thanks, Phil.
No worries. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
In the action down there as our women warm up, and my goodness, this women's match has a lot on the line. Every single set will be absolutely crucial, and we'll get into that a little bit more in depth when we get to the start of that match. We'll head to a quick break and come back with more about this women's matchup.